How are you, man?
Good. Another great day. Love talking to Mr. Wilkerson there. That was a great one. Man, I love
Oh,
that one.
you our last national championship. We're about due for one. Talking about that. We're talking about what we did with the Chiefs and of course with the Buccaneers and of course even with the Seahawks. Just a legend. And then giving back to the
Yep.
kids. That was my favorite. That
Yep.
was the cream of the crop, giving back to the kids,
Yep.
So
Definitely. Definitely.
I still think he could have took the fridge in a tug of war match, man. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But we always say, even though been blessed to work with football and many sports, we started off our passion with softball. You know that.
Yep.
So I got a treat for you, Dane.
Yeah.
There's a athlete I've been following for a long time, and we wanted to wait till the time was right. Towson doing some great stuff. The Towson
Yep.
Tigers. They got a great program, just a rising force, in softball. And there's a
Yep.
legend on their team, a rookie season, rookie of the year type thing, coming by the show today
Yep.
named Cara Bohner. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to bring
Yep.
this infielder on and get her going. Cara, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
It's
our
our privilege, Cara. We've had some questions over the years I think you'll like. So I'm going to take the first one, Cara, and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth. So take me back when all this began, before you were, a collegiate level stud, athlete, rookie of the year type thing, before high school, all that. When did you first pick up a softball and start playing in your life?
Yeah, so started with T-ball, about 5 years old. Moved on right after that to like little league type stuff. And then I was just talking with my parents. I think it was about 8 years old when I started travel ball. And that was because we finished our little league season and I was like, we're done. Like, I want to keep playing. So that's why I was like, is there something this summer that I can, keep playing? So that's when I started to go into travel ball. And then from there, every year we were looking to try to find the best things around me to get me good connections and just a lot of good coaches to help me like elevate my game.
So little league, and I hear that a lot. So you're out here doing travel ball at a young age. Did you play other sports too alongside of softball, like at all, or was it all softball?
Yeah, no, I did. And I totally recommend that, like, for everyone to kind of pick up some other sports and just be an athlete first. So growing up, softball was the first thing that I happened to do. But then I started playing basketball probably around like 5th grade. I did a little bit of that and then did that through middle school. Really loved it. I don't know if I had the best form out there, but I was all right at it. And it was fun for me. It was definitely different, more of a cardio sport for sure. But I decided not to do basketball in high school just because I wanted to have the winter to train. I started strength and conditioning training with one of my mentors here in 8th grade. So that kind of took over, but then I decided to do tennis in high school. So picked up tennis with some of my friends, and that was just a super thing that me being competitive, I did make it a little, I still wanted to win, but at the same time, it wasn't as mentally taxing as like all the effort I put into softball.
I got it. So elite athlete from the day one. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. So with all those sports under your belt, you got a little bit of taste of basketball and tennis. What was it about softball that just made you say, this is my sport, I'm going to go on and continue doing this and kind of leave the other sports behind?
Yeah. Like I said, I tried a lot of things, and I think with softball, I always wanted to challenge myself. I loved how like each specific, whether I pitched growing up, so pitching was a very thing that challenged myself a lot, and then just the team camaraderie, being able to like fight as a team, and then also have that when you're in the box, it's kind of that individuality, but you want to perform for your team. So I think it was kind of just the challenge it brought. Like I stand by hitting is the hardest thing in sports. I stand by that. So just the challenge, and I was always just wanting to learn more. I feel like there was like, I never knew it all. I still don't know it all. I just felt like every day, every practice, every new coach, I was able to learn something more. And I just really fell in love with the process of gaining that growth and understanding of the game.
Oh man, I stand with you on that. Hitting is the hardest thing. I've never hit a ball. No, I'm kidding. But no, it is definitely the hardest thing. They say it's a game of failure, Dane, right? You talk about that a lot. Hitting 3 out of 10 is legendary, right?
Yeah, definitely. And with those other sports that you played, do you like tennis with the lateral movement? Do you think that kind of helped you along with your footwork and building your skill to be an infielder?
Oh, for sure. It's a rotational sport as well. So always kind of working with that. But I think what tennis honestly really helped me with was the mental game. Tennis, it was very interesting for me. After like my first match when I was a freshman, I came off the court and I was like, Dad, they're nice. Like people like they have this type of like, hey, good shot. Like it was just not as competitive I was used to in softball, you know, or basketball. So I was like, this is like, they're very like nice. But then as I progressed and was playing some of the elite tennis players, as I got to like third singles by senior year, you could just really, it was a mental game. I mean, if you showed that you were struggling, they're going to get the edge. So it was kind of like, you really had to keep fighting, and really like keep your attitude up and keep working, because just like that, like it could slip from you and they would have the momentum. So I think I learned a lot. Just again, that was a game where, again, it's a team sport, but you're playing by yourself in singles at least. So I'd usually be the last one on the court because I didn't have the best shots, but I kept it going. I just was trying to hit it back over, back and forth. So I'd be the last one, and sometimes it'd be like if I lost, the team would lose. So I carried that on my back strongly, and I was like, I got to get this done. So it really helped out with my mental game for sure.
That's awesome. I think about influences and just kind of hearing it off the bat, because you're drawn from soccer, basketball, tennis, you know, obviously softball. You've had a broad range as an athlete, and I love what you said about recommending it. We always encourage that too. Dane coaches soccer and softball, and we encourage our athletes to do multi-sports, right? So you've got a plethora. Dane, I said the word right again, right? Did I say it correctly?
I think so.
Yeah, I love it. Said it right. You've got a plethora of influences, right? But who's that go-to, like in your career so far?
Yeah.
Who's been your biggest influence as an athlete so far?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I thought a lot about this question. If I would have to choose like one specific person, I would say my dad, just because he's been there through everything. No matter what I did, he was right behind me and telling me to go for it. And when I started softball, he just started learning it and loving it just like I did. And I think he was always like, I think he knew what I could accomplish before I knew. And he was always making sure to get me to the right people to reach those goals that I had for myself. And just being a huge support. And then my mom was always there to kind of like help me keep me in the moment, because I am very hard on myself. So she was always there to kind of keep my eyes on what I needed to be focused on and not get too crazy with my thoughts and kind of just dial in, stay in the moment.
Man, I'm just absorbing this, Dane. Like I said, I'm just kind of making notes here. So go ahead, Dane. Before.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I think Josh and I are in the same boat as your dad. You know, we want to be our daughter's biggest fans. So, congratulations to him for raising such a great athlete. But now that you got a year under your belt of softball, now you had a great year, all rookie teams, CAA. What are you looking for in this next season going into the fall as you restart school, and also into building to next season? What do the next 6 to 12 months look like for you?
That's good.
Yeah, great question. I'm excited to get back to campus and kind of hopefully start where we left off. We had a good postseason run in the CAA tournament, and I think honestly staying together in that hotel in Hofstra, New York, for about a week there, you know, we were kept winning, kept staying in that hotel room. And I think we were able to really set the tone for what the culture is for Towson softball throughout that week. And I think we really built a strong connection between one another. And we were able to kind of create that vibe that we want to stick with. That brought us a lot of success through that week. So I'm excited to get back. It's pretty much the same team. We lost 2 seniors that will be missed, 2 great leaders, but same team coming back pretty much. And we got some pretty good freshmen coming in that are hopefully going to step in and help us out in the circle mostly. So we're excited to get them on board. And yeah, I'm excited for what next season's going to hold.
You know, it's what I'm hearing, because I made a couple of notes, and Cara, what I keep hearing about you is like, we interviewed Alicia the other day from the Utes, right? And I'm hearing this similar thing between you guys. There's a motivation, there's a professionalism, there's a drive. I hear this. You're preparing to be a champion. I can hear it in the way you're breaking down what's coming up. Like I see it the way you're like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. You have your freshman ready to go. I think it's going to be a of a year for you guys. Just by the way you're breaking down your game plan, I can't wait to watch you guys play. I hope we get the link to it because we'll be watching you play all season, man. I can just see it, So there's a preparation that like champions prepare, and I hear that in just your tone, and then you're even in just a little bit of time just spending today with it, we know it's going to be a great season. So shout out to the victories ahead already, So
awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
So we do a little segment now of interviews and maybe press and buzz and things you've done previously. We really try to take a little bit of time and set apart from other interviews to make you laugh a lot. Okay, so Dane and I have a little segment. You'll see this later on DraftKings if you look it up. Just kidding.
Okay.
But it's a little segment that we do. We call it Rapid Fire. And I told you I'm going to intentionally not tell you about this because I wanted to have a little crazy fun with you. Now, we get questions all across the world. Our fans are great, but they'll give us kind of like PG but wacko weird questions. We love it. Okay, so these are anything's possible, past or present, people that are alive or past, cartoons. It can be real life. Anything's possible in this rapid fire segment. Okay. So, Cara, Dane and I are going to bet on these. The winner gets lunch provided by the loser. Dane owes me like 8 lunches, just so you know. Okay.
Yeah,
so Cara, don't let me down. No pressure, but I'm looking to keep the streak alive. Okay. So,
all right.
So you got to spit it out. You got to pick one for rapid fire. So we're going to begin. So question 1, opening game for the season. Towson's getting rolling. It's the first home game of the season. And you guys get to all of a sudden have a celebrity guest umpire that shows up to be your ump, the head ump. Okay. Now your ump is going to consist of Cruella de Vil or Ursula from Little Mermaid. Who's going to be your ump for this game?
Oh, both of those movies scared me a little bit growing up. I'll go with Cruella de
Vil. Dang it, I had Ursula. I really did.
I had Ursula.
Maybe she could bring her dogs with her.
Yeah, there you go. You just like strike and just see her sitting there kind of sitting on the ump. So the next one. So NIL is a big thing, right? It's becoming a big thing, part of sports and all that. So let's imagine you get an NIL sponsorship by one of these two entities. Now the catch is you get to have the sponsorship as long as back to opening day for you, as long as you wear their brand as an outfit while you're playing infield the whole game. Okay. So you ready for your 2 choices?
Okay.
One is SpaghettiOs. And B is Marchan Ramens, and you got to wear the outfit. You get sponsored by it, but which one are you going with for your sponsorship?
The ramen.
Dang it. I had SpaghettiOs, Dane. I really did, man.
Yeah,
I really had it, man. What'd you have, Dane?
Everybody loves ramen. I had ramen. Everybody loves that.
My type of flavor.
Everybody loves ramen. That's good. Let's play on words there. So next one. So you get to be I've seen this happen a lot, like celebrity appearances on things like The Simpsons, right? Well, they'll bring in real life characters into it. So you get to be a part of one of these 2 shows as you're built into the show as a celebrity cartoon appearance. So we'll go that way. A lot of cartoon stuff. You either A, get to be part of a celebrity guest episode of The Magic School Bus, or B, you get to be part of Bob's Burgers and you're one of the characters. Who do you want to be?
The Magic School Bus. The Magic School Bus.
I'm doing terrible, Dan. I'm 1 for 3, man. How about you? Did you get that one, Dan?
Yeah, I'm 2 for 3. I'm closing the gap here.
This is messed up. I'm gonna have to see your sheet, man.
Yeah, I don't think my pockets aren't deep enough to be buying all these lunches, so I got to make up some ground here.
So next one, game's over. Go back to the opening day, right? And they're doing a press conference, right? Afterwards, kind of breaking down. You guys won the game. You run-rolled them. You won the game. Now they ask you to do a press conference, but you're only allowed to do 1 or 2 quotes. These are 2 songs. You have to say just this phrase. That's it. You can only say one of these 2 phrases. Every person that asks you a question, even if there's 10 questions, Cara, you can only repeat this one phrase over and over again. Okay. So your choices are A, Ice Ice Baby, or B, Another One Bites the Dust. So for example, Cara, how was that game? Ice Ice Baby. Cara, how do you feel about that victory? Another One Bites the Dust. That's all you can say is one of those 2 phrases. Which one are you going with?
Definitely Another One Bites the Dust.
I quit. I literally quit, Dane. I got that one wrong too. I can't believe I got that wrong, Dane.
That's
Did
a
you get that one?
competitive edge.
Man. Darn it. Okay. Well, Dane's definitely, unless I get this one right, Dane, you got me. So last question. They're doing a Field of Dreams remake, a brand new remake. Movies are remade quite often. Okay. And this time it's going to be a Field of Dreams about softball. I think it's kind of fitting, right? Softball's growing very rapidly. So there's a 2023 Field of Dreams, and the main character is about Cara Bohner. That's you, right? You're the main character. Now you get to pick one of these 2 actresses to play you in the Field of Dreams 2023 remake. Are you going to have A, Reese Witherspoon play your part, or B, Demi Lovato play you in the upcoming Field of Dreams softball remake?
Reese Witherspoon for sure. She's gorgeous.
I quit, man. I quit. Dana went 1 for 5, man. That's it. You won, Dane, hands down. Let me walk away. No, thank you for that, Cara. That's just a little fun segment we do called Rapid. Hopefully, you haven't had that type of something in previous interviews.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dane.
And thank you for letting me catch up. Finally, I'm starting to close some ground on Josh there. So
send me your picks, Dane.
Couple more interviews. I'll be back to square one. So
fine. Thank you, Cara.
All right, on this final episode or segment, we call it an open mic. We open the floor up to our guests to kind of tell us any philosophies or maybe a mantra they've carried through the years to maybe pass on to some of our younger viewers and listeners of our show to help them get to the level you're at and kind of beyond, or to whatever level they want to get. Is there something that's been given to you through the years that you carry with you, or something that you've developed through the years that you've come up with to kind of help you along your path that you can give to our younger listeners?
Sure. Yeah. Mantras are very important to me. It's something that I probably learned about mid high school, probably I'm thinking like 10th, 11th grade. And the first mantra I made for myself was be legendary. And I wrote that on my glove, just Sharpie marker, just on the inside of my glove, inside of the pinky there. And that for me, those two simple words was something just to tap me back into kind of a positive mindset after an error or something happened in the game that didn't go my way. It was kind of easy for me to just be like, all right, how would, in my mind, a legend react after this situation? So it was kind of like, don't show my emotions on the field, kind of snap out of it. So repeating that in my head would kind of put me in this like we over me mindset. And then another one I just created with my sports psychologist during my freshman season was move mountains. So for me, that was another one that kind of put me into this, like tapped me into this third gear, where if I was tired at practice, if it was a long week, if it was a tough game that was maybe on the edge or just not going the way we wanted, kind of tapped me into this next gear that was like, let's push it, like give it all you got right here. And just pushing me not to give up. So mantras are definitely something that I stand by. I think it's a huge part, puts you above the rest in the mental side of the game and just in life. So I always share that with some of the girls that I coach. I challenge them to go home in the next week, give me their mantra. So I definitely challenge whoever is listening out there, no matter if you play softball, other sports, or just in life, mantras are great to have and create something that really resonates with you.
Wow. I think I think about a couple quotes I've heard, Cara, over the years and mantras. And my favorite quote, which I live by, I always hear this quote by Ali that says, impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion, right? That's my favorite quote of all time. When you're saying kind of like moving mountains, it's similar in philosophy that, hey, that's just a mountain in your way. It doesn't have to always be there. It's temporary, right? Whether the setbacks, we were spending some time yesterday at a camp and some of the ladies were talking about just finding ways to figure it out, right? What is your challenge in front of you, whether it's schoolwork or you're trying to figure out how to recover from an injury, or maybe sports is not your path, and maybe it's music or, some type of lawyer, doctor, thing like that. How do you overcome that and move that mountain, if you will? So that's very wise, Cara. I think you got a future as a coach in your days ahead.
You go.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah. Dane, you have anything to add to that? Cause that's awesome, man.
No, I mean, we like to hear it from, we sometimes you think, well, some of the older coaches or players that we have on that they developed it over years and it's come to them, but to hear it from somebody, a younger athlete, to carry with them, and you playing that at the level that you do, that you've carried that, and you're willing now at this young age to pass that on to girls that are wanting to aspire to be you. That's a great thing to have. I mean, like Josh and I always say, I mean, this sport and all sports are in great hands with individuals like yourself that are willing to pay it forward to this next generation. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Cara.
Yeah.
Are you ever, is it in the cards, maybe one day, Cara, to coach a team? Maybe I know a lot of college ladies like to coach some of the littles, maybe 12Us. Is that in your future, you think, or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to be a coach. My major is exercise science. So right now, for the past 3 years, junior year till now, I've been coaching girls at an indoor facility here in my town. So I've been doing that. I have help teams here and there, but yeah, I'd love to be a part of a organization and being able to kind of create more of a longer relationship with them and see their growth.
I think also too, and Dan and I have said this a lot of the athletes we work with, there's AU now, and there's, of course, like major league softball, if you will. Any thought down the road after you finish with college of maybe going that direction as well? Maybe declaring someday for pro, like AU or something?
Oh, for sure. I think anyone who puts this much work into something obviously has that dream of playing professional ball. So
Good.
We'll see what the next 3 years of college holds for me. And from there, I'd love the opportunity if I get there. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Well, Dana, I can't wait to have you back on as pro/coach Cara one of these days. So it's going to be great. Awesome. Dana, awesome. So Cara, thank you again for making time out of your schedule doing this. Any closing words, Cara? Because I know you're a busy lady, but we want to make sure we respect your time.
No worries. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm always looking for a new softball podcast to listen to. So I enjoy it. Thanks for helping grow the game and interviewing people in our game to just be able to share our knowledge with the world. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Absolutely. Open invitation, Cara. Once you get on the show, we consider you an alum. So please be known that we will bug you and have you back on soon. That's a promise. So awesome. We'll catch up. We'll be watching your game. So Cara, thank you again for all you've done for the sport. You're the one we want to showcase. You're the one really doing the work. So thank you for paying it forward. And we'll give you some time back in your day and we'll catch up very soon. Okay. So
awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Cara. Take care.
See ya.
Thank you. So Dane, that was like I said, there's a drive, there's a professionalism driven. What do you think, Dane?
Yeah. I mean, I always like to see it at this young age, that they have that mindset now of, this is something bigger. It's not just a sport. I even though I love this sport, there's something bigger than me beyond that. And I can pass that on to this next generation to make not only great athletes, but great people. So, and that's what it's all about. And that's why I love interviewing all these individuals that we do, because they've all had that mindset, and it makes just for a better world, not just a sports world, but a better world at the end of it all.
I was so impressed, and I say a lot of times I get speechless, but I really did. I'm making notes and I'm watching her just conduct herself as she already knows what she wants, and 18 to 20, 21, even 25. That's a young age to know your path. It's really cool. I think she'll do fine in sports, and if she decides to step away from that, I think she'll be a great coach. I would like to see some of her coaching stuff. Obviously, we can tell she does well at it. And I think I kept going back to the moving mountains. That's cool. Moving mountains, So thank you, Cara, again. Thank you, Towson. Thank you for pushing the sport forward the way we love to see. Speaking of moving mountains, Dane, our next episode is someone who's literally moved literal mountains. So we've got a gentleman stopping by, the most gentle guy, but also ferocious, right? So we're bringing on someone I've been following. This is probably 10 years I've been trying to get this going in the making with this guy. And I'm a little starstruck, I will tell you ahead of time. Every one of our guests, we love talking to them. So there's no shade there. But this gentleman has moved mountains, literally holds the record for the world record for the shield carry. This man, Nick Best, pro strongman, Dane, 10-time world's strongest man competitor. And we were talking about some of his stats, and the accolades just go on and on and on. Has picked up boats, fire trucks, literally done these things, right? And we're looking at, it's like, what's your mile? And he runs a 7.5 minute mile, Dane, at that. You know what I'm saying? He's a swole, buff guy, larger specimen to run that fast. Just peak performance. And I am beyond excited to bring on Nick Best. He'll be here in a little bit, and then we'll end the evening with Coach Daniel from the Cyclones. So a lot of softball still to come, and a lot of strength stuff to come. By the way, surprise, your buddy Vin stopping by, the Ninja Warrior, to do the episode with us next with Nick. So this will be fun. So you guys, we'll get a little breather. We'll be back here in a little while. I can't wait to have a couple more good ones for you. So as always, don't forget that we love you. And Dane,
thank you for listening.